I live in Pell City, Alabama, which is probably like 30, 40 minutes from here.
Yeah.
I have to live in a secluded area, mainly just because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd never get anything done. I'd be out hanging out with you cats all the time. But yeah, so I live in a secluded part of St. Clair County, just kind of relax and chill and, make music, producer, rapper. I'm on the record label Communicating Vessels, and that's where we are right now. We're here at the studio here at Communicating Vessels. Got about probably like 13, 15 bands that are on Communicating Vessels. Of course, my group is the Green Seed, and currently we're working on a new record and been recording and trying to work through some stuff. But we've got a long list. We've got Ray and Lady Legs, GT, Dead Snares, Isadore. If I sat here long enough, I probably could rattle them all off. But yeah, it's about 15 bands, and they all range from pop to hard garage rock to some really experimental stuff. So got hip hop, got Shaheed Supreme, and yeah, it's been great. We hooked up with them after South by Southwest a couple years ago. Well, probably more than a couple years ago now. It's probably been almost 10 years ago, and it's been a whirlwind. It's been great working with lots of resources to work with, So when I finished college, I decided I was going to get a job, but I also wanted to produce music. So I guess that's probably been about 15 years ago. So I've been in the game, just out here, just writing and producing and grinding, and just probably about 15 years now. So, and like I was saying, I know most people probably consider me an old head because I've been out here grinding that long, but there's one thing I will say. I might be an old head, and I kind of accept that title with pride, but the one thing I will say is I like the energy from the youth, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all about, I just like music, it's like, sometimes when I see my brethren, my old head brethren, they like to talk negatively about the trap and all the, but it's like, man, I like music. So, I love trap, I love pop, I love everything. I've produced everything. I produced pop records, I produced trap records, and, boom bap records, lo-fi stuff, and I think that there's a place for all of it. And I like the energy, I like the work ethic, and so when I see somebody that doesn't matter what they do, as long as they own it and they're grinding it and they're pushing it and they believe in it, man, I'm all for it, because I've been out here doing what I believe in for 15 plus, you know what I mean? And it's been fun. The personalities have been great. Have there been some negative shit? Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some of that, but you take those lessons, you learn them, and you move on, and and make a name for yourself, whatever that way is. Because life is too short to be out here, doing something you ain't passionate about and don't love. I'm being inspired by people that you normally wouldn't think that I'm being inspired by. People from the outside would think, oh man, yeah, this dude, he on Commvess, he already got all his work, he done his record, he's been in Spin Magazine, all this other stuff. But it's like, man, I get so inspired by people like you, people like Derek Morton, people like Gaptooth, and it's only because I know what it's like to be there. Like I told you before, I'm from Pell City, so I'm not even from Birmingham. I know what it's like to come from somewhere else and come into somewhere where people already don't really know, oh man, this little country hit kid coming from Pell City, and you come to Birmingham and now you have to try to make a name for yourself. You have to prove yourself. And I know what it's like to just be out here doing what you love to do, trying to inspire yourself and get inspiration from things and inspire other folks, and just doing what you love to do. So right now, I would probably say you people, you younger generation, you people out here grinding, y'all are inspiring me more than anybody now. Probably my late mother's advice, and she told me this all the time as a kid, coming up, because of course, as a young adult, you don't really know who your friends are. And sometimes adults have to try to phrase it and give it to you in a way that you can digest. And my mother used to always tell me that everybody's not your friend, But she went one step further. There's I think it's Robert Frost. Maybe it's Robert Frost. I don't. Maybe I can't remember. But I remember the poem vividly because it was always told to me. But she always said, "Have your friends, treat them well. Never to them your secrets tell, because one day your friend will be your foe, and out into the world your secrets will go." And that's something that has stuck with me forever. You know, you can have people close to you and you can treat them well. But at some point, you know, you got to keep some stuff for yourself just to protect yourself from, you know, any future problems. And so that's something that has stuck with me my entire life. And I was a solo artist and DJ FX, and had been a solo artist for a while. And DJ FX, who was also, you know, he was a separate DJ, and you know, we used to see each other all the time at the Eargasm, which at that point was the quintessential hip hop performance night. It was at the High Note Rocking Horse Lounge, of course, which doesn't exist anymore. But I would do shows, solo shows, and I'd come off the stage sometimes, and FX would always look at me and he'd say, "Hey man, I thought, man, that shit was tight." He's like, "Man, just call me if you ever want to do something. If you ever want to, you know, if you ever want to need a DJ." And so I always held on to that for a while, and then as time moved forward, I kind of felt like, okay, maybe I do need a DJ. Maybe I need somebody behind me that can kind of run the tracks, and, you know, I can kind of just stay in rapper mode. And so FX and I formed a group. We didn't name it yet, because it was just me and FX. And then later on in the proceedings, I met Complete, the other MC in the Green Seed, and he and I had started to want to work together. And since FX and I were already working together, and we were going to bring Complete in, we decided we needed to name ourselves. You know, we were going to be a group. And, you know, we went over names and we tried to figure out things, and, you know, we'd come up with something, and, you know, it wouldn't sound really good. But we wanted to make something that sounded more like the Black Keys or the Beatles. You know, we knew we wanted a "the" in the title. Like, we wanted to be the something. And so then we decided, okay, well, and actually I know it was me. I decided, okay, we need to pick a color. We need to have a color in it, because then when you can associate "the" with some color, maybe that'll connect with people more. So we went with green, and then we chose seed just because it's, you know, the whole idea behind the Green Seed for me has always been about growth. And if you're not growing in whatever you're doing, you're stagnant. You know, that seed in the ground needs to be watered. It needs fertilizer. It needs rain. I mean, I already said water, but it needs to be taken care of. And the Green Seed has always been something that needed to be nurtured. And it still needs to be nurtured, even now. You know, now that even we wanted to always have the idea that we were always a seed. We were always something that was growing. We weren't a tree yet, because, you know, a tree can get to a specific point where that tree can die. But we always wanted to just keep in our minds that we were a seed. We were something that was going to continue to grow and continue to build. And then later on, we became part of the Lobotomix, its early inception of Lobotomix, and that's where we met Jeff C. And we thought it would be interesting to have two DJs that kind of pushed each other, and two MCs that kind of pushed each other. And so then we asked Jeff C to join, and that's how we became the group known as the Green Seed. I admire and have always wanted my career to be a lot like Tom York from Radiohead. And since I have gotten so close to the owner of this label, whose name is Jeffrey Kane, he is the former guitarist from the Geffen band Remy Zero. He's another artist that I feel like I kind of compare myself to, and not because I think I'm as good as he is, or even Tom York, in fact, either. It's just that I've modeled my career after them. Being willing to experiment, being willing to nurture somebody else's career, because those two guys have both done that. And also guitar. I love guitar. Love playing guitar. I love playing with effects. and just playing all myriad of scales that where they don't even feel like they fit, but you just make them fit with effects, pedals and stuff. So Jeffrey Kane, Tom York, and probably, if I had to say, the other one would be Mad Lib. And mainly just because I know what it's like to just go into your hole and go to work and just do tons of work and not really worried about what's going on outside of your workspace. And I think Mad Lib is like that. So yeah, those three guys, Tom York, Jeffrey Kane, and Mad Lib. Over time, I would say earlier on when I was just a rapper, I would probably practice verses and practice cadences and things more. I was always experimenting with how you could deliver words and how words could be connected. But over the years, it shifted. It's like I have to take time to practice my drum, practicing my paradiddles, or I have to take time practicing my scales on my guitar. And I've been trying to take a little time to enhance my music theory knowledge. So yeah, my practice used to just be rapping, and then over time, you have to take a little time to spend time practicing, working with the MPC and the SP and any myriad of pedals or anything that you get. So now I have to compartmentalize it, whereas before it used to just be rap. Now it's like I have to find time to take care of the promotional side, now with social media and stuff, and we've got some new t-shirts that are getting ready to come out, so that's the financial side of things. So yeah, over the years, I've gone from just being a rapper to just really compartmentalizing and making sure that every week I spend time on all of this stuff. And I know this is going to sound really self-absorbed too, but I think that I've reached it. When I first started rapping, I would have always thought that, okay, I want to get signed. And then over time you realize, you don't really want to be signed. And then you think, okay, well now if I'm, because I went from rapper to producing my own shit. And so then you start thinking, okay, well maybe I'm just gonna put out my own shit. And then you realize, maybe that's not even the way to go. So then you think, okay, well maybe I just want to work with other people and help them write stuff. And then, so then I did that. And then you realize it's like, okay, well yeah, I like that too, but maybe I don't want to just do that. So then we produced the track I produced the track for the new soccer team in Birmingham. And that was, a good paycheck and it was a good experience. And so then you think, okay, well yeah, I like doing that. But when I started just being a rapper, I never would have thought that I would have gotten to this point. You can follow what I'm saying? So it's like I almost feel like I've done commercial work. I've had my music play on Ray Donovan on Showtime and in a movie with James Franco, The Adderall Diaries. I've performed on big stages. My music is on every platform. It's a piece of vinyl out here. Like, I get to work in this studio and the other studio that we have over in Mountain Brook. And man, I feel like professionally, man, I feel like I've done it. I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do. Now, could I do it at a higher level? Sure. But I think that I have accomplished everything that I set out to do. And I think that's why lately I've been so inspired by people like yourself. Is because I want to now be a conduit for other people's success. And not like in a way like where you do everything for somebody and then they get up, they don't ever have to do anything. Like, not that way, but a true conduit where you see somebody is working and you're working and you look at each other and you be like, hey man, like I like what you're doing, and they say, oh, I like what you're doing. Let's team up and let's start working together. We're gonna still keep our grind going, but we're gonna fucking try to help each other out. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the stage that I'm in. I really feel like the next step for me, and it's coming, is that I'm going to start writing, and I've been writing like a madman. It's a another self-absorbed statement, but I just gotta say this. I've been writing like crazy. I've been writing choruses and verses and chord progressions and recording them, getting all this stuff prepared. And I've always wondered for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been wondering, why have I been doing this? What's been the accelerant for this? And it's all been for today. It's like the moment that the way that I feel today is the reason why I've been doing all that work is so that I can get to right where I am right now today on Friday, May the 10th, so that I can start morphing into somebody who's going to be a conduit for somebody else's success. And it could be, and this is going to sound fucked up, but it could be Kanye West, it could be Drake, it could be Rihanna, it could be the biggest artist in the world. I think that I'm going to be a conduit for somebody like that success as much as somebody who's just starting out. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm going to be the next connection for something. Whether that happens or not, shit, I don't know. But that's how I feel right now. And so, professionally, I'm right where I want to be. I feel like I don't have anything else to achieve other than being a conduit for somebody's real success. Period. Continue to grow. Just grow, because I have seen up close and personal artists who came into the game 15 years ago, and artistically they're the same person. They're the same individual they were 15 years ago, artistically. Now, they might not be the same person spiritually or emotionally, or, they've learned some things. Mm-hmm. But artistically, when somebody is the same 15 years after they came into the game, that's a problem. And so what I would always say to somebody that's coming in new, keep growing. Even if that means that you're just going to take a vocal class where you just go once a month, or you're going to take a theory class, or you're going to take a beat making class. Even if you're just a rapper, keep empowering yourself to grow, so that when those opportunities show themselves, and they will, you'll be prepared. Because there are going to be times that opportunities, and it's happened to me before, where an opportunity come up and you realize, I don't know if I can pull this off. And then you have to go get somebody to help you to pull it off. But if you empower yourself, when that opportunity shows, you're not gonna have to go get nobody to. Now, if somebody wants to come join you, cool. But you won't have to go get somebody to help you pull it off. You'll have the tools and the information to pull it off yourself. So, that's the one thing. Take that one, kiddos, and use it. I'm telling you, empower yourself. If you're a rapper today, be more than a rapper tomorrow. If you're a singer today, be more than a singer tomorrow. And in 15 years, you definitely need to be better than you were 15 years prior to that. For sure. Yeah, well, Jeff C and I, Jeff C and I we have our new solo album that we're working on. We're almost getting completed on. I've been working with a label out in LA, Waxploitation Records. We've got some stuff in the works. It's funny how political situations, worldwide politics can affect a situation, but there's a DJ I've been doing some work with out of Venezuela for Waxploitation, and now they're having this big political upheaval there in Venezuela, and it set everything back because of a worldwide political situation. So I've got that coming up. I've got a new solo beat tape. It'll be out in June the 8th. The new Green Seed record is almost finished. I don't have any idea when that's going to be out, but I'm taking my time with it just because I want it to feel like it sounds like modern stuff, but it also has something maybe what the future is going to truly experimenting, trying a lot of different things. Also working with Rebecca Fox playing bass in her band. Working with Craig Stilley, he and I are working on some stuff. So I really have been working shit's gonna come to a head eventually. I'm gonna have to release it, you know, put it all out and let it all go. Man, just thank you. Number one, be sure to get your ill status gear. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Cam. Thanks to everybody that has ever supported any part of Green Seed, whether that be FX, Jeff C, Complete, myself, and just reach. This sounds corny as hell, but just reach for the stars, man. Go get it. Get all that you can get while